How come Jesus was born on the 25th of December? Okay, how come Jesus was born on the 25th of December? Interesting question. When do we celebrate Christmas? Christmas means the birth of Christ, right? 25th of December. Why? Because he was born on 25th. Yes. Samuel? Say again. God's choice. Okay, God's choice. Well, definitely it's God's choice to have Jesus born into this world. But was it on the 25th of December? That's the question. I think that is what the person is asked. Okay, no. Shama Maria, you're shaking your head vigorously. When was Jesus born? When do you think? On your birthday. Which day? You think it might be December. Okay? Well, now, first of all, based on the calculations in the Bible, Jesus was not born in December. Okay? I won't go into all the details, but if you trace the birth of John, who is John? Jesus' cousin, right? John, and then you trace when John came into this world based on the father's priesthood, which year, which month, and then you trace from there. Now, the Bible tells us that Jesus was born 6 months, very good, 6 months after John. Okay, now John would be born, based on all those calculations, Jesus would likely have been born in September or October. Yes, you guessed it in your mind. September, October, right? Some say that. So no one can be fully sure of that, okay? But the fact is this, the question remains, why do we want to celebrate Jesus' birthday in December? That's the question, okay? So most people believe he was not born then. Then why do we have his birthday in December? Why? Because it's a time when all the children want presents. End of the year. And it's good for parents because things are on sale, cheaper. Now why do people celebrate that? Typically the understanding is this, as people trace back in history. Okay, at that time, well, there are many versions. Okay, and I think we don't really know. But a popular version, which is plausible, is now during the month of December, in the Roman Empire, they celebrate a pagan festival, unbelievers' festival. Okay, so they will worship their gods, and it's a very hedonistic festival. Okay, just like those of you who are familiar, maybe Deepavali, they worship all their gods, or the Chinese celebrate maybe Buddha, some festival and all that. Okay, so it's an unbelievers' festival in December. So what did the Christians do? Because the whole society will be going to temples, praying to idols and all that. So what the Christians did was this. They say, let us have our own festival too. Okay? So that it will distract the believers from all these things, and we also celebrate something. So the Christians would then have our own festival, our own celebration, and our own learning. Okay? And then they decided to start that. That's all. Okay? Some say this, well, there are other stories we don't fully know, but I think this is quite plausible because at that time, yes, it is true. So some say, we should not celebrate Christmas because it came from the pagan beliefs. It came from solstice, and the people prayed to their gods and asked God to bless their farms and all that. So they say it's related to all this. Therefore, Christians should not celebrate Christmas because it comes from a pagan origin, a false religion origin. That is why some Christians say no, churches should not celebrate Christmas because its origin is from that. Now, from what we understand, the people did celebrate all those things during Christmas. But the Christians, to counter that, they weren't saying, let's adopt the pagans' Christmas or the pagans' festival. They started their own festival. Okay? But the bottom line is this. Is it wrong to celebrate and to remember Christ's birth? No, right? There's nothing wrong. In fact, it's very useful for us to remember Christ coming to this earth. God coming to earth to save sinners. So it's not a bad thing. Okay? What what would be bad about Christmas if we celebrate it wrongly, right? If we ask Ray to dress up like, Ray can't be an elf, he's too tall, right? Ask the shortest person in church, dress up as an elf. You know what's an elf? Can you describe what's an elf? Yeah, long pointed green person, you know, short, little, elf, okay, that can disappear, I think, and appear. Now, all those are the pagan things. Or then I come to church, dress up as who? Santa Claus, you know, that kind of thing. Now, when we start doing that, then yes, we are adopting the worldly way of celebrating Christmas. Our celebration of Christmas is to remember the birth of Christ. Okay, so that is what. Now, so is it wrong to have... Okay, never mind. Okay, so remember that we celebrate correctly to remember our Savior's birth. We did not adopt any pagan practices. Now, if we start putting up in church mistletoes, you know what's mistletoe for? What's the superstition about mistletoe? Do girls know? You better run away from mistletoe during Christmas. Is there anyone who kisses someone under the mistletoe? You will marry the person. All these kind of silly things, if we start doing them, then it's wrong. That's why we keep it very simple, right? We have Bible verses about Christ's birth. We have gospel meeting. That's why it's very useful to have gospel meeting during that time. It's a time when people are happy. You invite them, you talk to them about the gospel. They may not scold you so much, right? So it's a very good evangelistic opportunity too. Okay, so to answer your question, so it's not likely to be in December. Whether it is or was not in December, the main point is there's nothing wrong. Remember our Savior's birth. There are some churches that do not celebrate that. They are against it. Okay, so there's nothing wrong if we do it correctly. Not from pagan origin. Don't adopt any pagan thing. All right, so that's 2 questions. What do we have here? Top 5 reasons why church dropouts. What church dropouts say, why they stop attending church. Now, please remember 66% of, well, I take the American view, they are the most readily available results. They stop attending church at least a year after turning 18. So from